the international payment system in some detail. From an African point of view, a highlight of this conversation was the discussion of the Pan-African payment system, which has immense potential to stimulate trade and growth by increasing the spend and certainty and reducing the costs of cross-border payments in Africa. Participants also debated the question of whether a Brics currency is possible or even desirable, with strong views expressed both for and against, with little consensus being reached. Seen from a banker's perspective, the debate would probably progress more fruitfully if the discourse maintained a sharper conceptual distinction between international payments on the one hand and reserve currencies on the other. For example, and as the example of the PAPS illustrates, under certain circumstances it may be possible to simplify international trade and the attendant payments using a collection of domestic currencies without any reference to any international reserve currency. It's also important to be realistic about the necessary characteristics of an international reserve currency. These include being a currency issued by a central bank with very high credibility in the implementation of monetary policy, being the currency of a...
So basically here, folks, a basket of currencies. And again, the question is, what are they going to back it by? And many people are saying it is going to be gold. Now, here at the Brics Summit, the president of South Africa, listen to what he says. Maybe they're going to back some of this by something I was talking about 10 plus years ago, and that is a global or regional currencies backed by land and natural resources. Maybe they need hard assets to back their collection of currencies for the BRICS banking system to be the new world reserve currency that people will want because it's actually backed by something, whereas the U.S. dollar is backed really only by the fact that it's the world reserve currency that purchases oil. Well, when the dollar goes kaput, as it is with massive inflation, deflation in other areas, people are going to want to invest in a currency or a basket of currencies that's actually backed by hard assets, not a fiat currency. Maybe they can back it by minerals, natural resources in their land, in their nation. Listen to this.
Africa is a continent of great opportunity in industrialization process in a variety of sectors. This continent is rich in the critical minerals that will drive business success in the 21st century. The continent has resources of lithium, vanadium, cobalt, platinum, palladium, nickel, copper, rare earth minerals, rhodium, and many others. And these are the minerals that are bound and are driving economic activity across the world. African countries have made it clear that the investors of choice are those who will come and invest in our continent, but also process the resources here, close to source, so that African countries do not export rock and sand, but export finished products, as we would like to do.
All right. Now, let's go to the next clip I've got. Because this, again, the BRICS system is the summit is underway. And here is Xi Jinping taking the risky chance of leaving his country. And here he is, Xi Jinping, the communist dictator. Communist Red China. Here he comes. So he got a warm welcome today. Xi Jinping was there. That's about all we need to see of him. And the butcher there, killing scores of people. And then, of course, there was Putin. Putin talking about dollar transactions and that this is going forward. Dollar transactions have been reduced by 80% without any doubt. The BRICS Bank is a real alternative to the current existing financial establishment. Listen to Putin.
I'd just like to point out also that the share of the countries concerned in which billions of people live has actually increased by 25%. And in terms of PPP, it is in a very high position. It has gone up from 30% to more than 40%. This is an irreversible development in our area, and measures have been put in place to make sure that more trade transactions are made in local currencies. And as a result of that, the share of dollars has actually, or dollar transactions has reduced very considerably, something like 80% between Brics countries. We will be discussing all of that in greater depth, particularly the introduction of local currency transactions in all spheres of trade. Without any doubt, we are reckoning a lot on the new development Brics Bank, which is a real alternative to the current existing financial establishment.
An alternative to the current financial establishment. They're moving forward, and they're gonna, well, make supposedly history this week. Earth-shattering information supposedly coming out. We'll see. We'll get to that later this week.